Tuning into another segment of the Sit Down with Malik Wright, presented by First Star Logistics. On this segment, we'll be discussing how Brandon Staley is holding back the Los Angeles Chargers. Listen, I'm going to be the first to say it. The Chargers need to move on from Staley. This guy has had many opportunities to prove that he can be a capable head coach in the National Football League and consistently just falls on his face time and time again. And it sucks for a guy like Justin Herbert because Justin Herbert is truly one of the elite quarterbacks in the National Football League. Yet and still, he's paired up with the inept coach who doesn't know how to properly have, has poor game management. I would say they consistently allow teams that they should be beating to upset them. They lost to the Tennessee Titans, who everybody expected to be bottom dwellers this football season. They lost to the Tennessee Titans and they lost to the Miami Dolphins. Now, the Miami Dolphins do look damn good this season, but the Dolphins were able to do whatever they wanted to the Chargers. And why is that significant? That's significant because Brandon Staley was brought in here because of his defensive prowess. He was brought in here because he was a great defensive mind. Yet and still, that is the one area on the team that has been lacking since he's been here. I get it, being an issue of struggle your first year, maybe even your second year. But what is this now? Year 3 for
Year
Brandon
three.
Staley?
Year 3.
And I think at this point, it's just it's very concerning because now you're as an organization, as a franchise, you have to look at the overall aspect for your football team. What does this do for Justin Herbert's confidence level? What does this do for the team's confidence level? Keenan Allen ain't getting any younger, right? So you got all these tremendous weapons on offense, and you're just not able to string it together. The offense consistently is the one going out there week after week after week, putting up numbers, and the defense consistently lets them down. It doesn't matter if they have big names on the defense, like a Derwin James, like a Joey Bosa, like a Khalil Mack. It's just not enough. So, yeah, I just think at this point, the Chargers need to move on from Brandon Staley. I'm done giving this guy his chances. I've seen enough. I'm ready to throw in the towel. Daniel, what say you?
1,000% ready to throw in the towel. Let me just say some things to kind of back up what you're saying. Justin Herbert's playing great. The past 4 games, let me read off his stats. 1,000 yards, 7 total touchdowns, 280 yards per game, 0 interceptions. In his past 4 games, first 2 this year, last 2 last year, they're 0-4 in those 4 games. They're 0-4. And you look at how they performed this year, the offense is looking good. Last week without Austin Eckler, still looking good. It's the defense. And let me, I was watching that game. Their offense got off to a good start, right? Field goal and a touchdown. Then what happened immediately on the next drive? 70-yard pass to Treylon Burks. If that happens in the first and second quarter, that's going to set the tone for the rest of the game, right? If a run-heavy team is allowing, a guy like Treylon Burks, 70-yard, deep pass, that's the issue. So Brandon Staley, you've got all the talent in the world on the defense, man. And the fact of the matter is you've lost to the Dolphins with a great offense and you lost to the Tennessee Titans. Screw talking about the Chiefs, right? Screw talking about competing in your division. Can you beat the Raiders? Can you beat the Broncos? And that's the part that sucks because, and I know all the Chargers fans are definitely with us on this. You got Mike Williams, great game last game. Keenan Allen, you got Austin Eckler, you got Gerald Everett, you got a great offensive line. You have a young star quarterback, and it's your defense that's the issue. So Malik, man, I feel for Chargers fans because they're getting all these pieces, and same thing like we've talked about, with other teams. You can have all the pieces, but it comes down to the coaching. It comes down to the scheme, and we saw that with the Dolphins game, and we saw that with the Titans game. They are just getting out coached on the defense side of the ball. You lose in overtime to the Titans. I get it's on the road, but this is showing your defense just doesn't have, your defense can't set the tone, and that sucks. Joey Bosa had 2 sacks last game. You still got Khalil Mack, you got Derwin James, but you just can't piece it all together. You got talent on this team. So at the end of the day, what can they do to fix this? You got to fire Brandon Staley, in my opinion. I think it's done because Justin Herbert, they've tried this. And what can you do this season to turn it around? You just got to hope that your offense can overcome this defense because the defense is scheming. It shows that it's not working right now.
Right, which really sucks because, like I said, well, let's just call it what it is, guys, right? I'm not being hard on the guy. Everybody has been saying, okay, the first year was like, we really love this guy because he's such an aggressive coach. He's innovative in that sense in terms of trusting his offense and going forward. But what has he shown us defensively? You go out there and you grab the likes of J.C. Jackson. You grab a top cornerback in the draft. What's the kid that they got that you're a big fan of? The other Asante Samuel Jr. You get all these guys that you think are going to help take this defense over the top, and yet and still Not happening. You think that he's going to be the guy to help unlock Kenneth Murray? Not happening. You think he's going to be the guy to help unlock this defense to the next level? They grab Khalil Mack. You got all the graphics coming out there saying, hey, could you imagine how scary this defense is going to look? This defense looks like mincemeat. You're just simply running through it every which way possible. And for a guy that's lauded for his defense in a division with Patrick Mahomes, you can't stop a nosebleed.
Mm-hmm.
You can't stop a nosebleed. And it's a very easy game plan for teams, right? It's play keep away. You can run the football on the Chargers. That's what everybody says.
Yeah.
You can run the football on the Chargers with ease. You run the football with the Chargers. You take a lead. You dictate the pace of the game. Good luck playing keep away football for the Chargers. Good luck, because we know, right? We know then that puts the pressure on the offense to be perfect. Because if the offense makes a mistake, well, that team could bleed the game clock, all because they know that the Chargers defense can't do jack about it.
Yeah.
And that's where we're at right now. It's disappointing because the Chargers should be one of those teams up there with the Chiefs, with the Bengals, even though they're 0-2 right now. They should be up there with the top elite teams in the AFC competing for AFC championships. There should be a true challenge in the AFC West for that divisional crown. Yet and still, it's not, because they have a guy who's a head coach who, quite honestly, is proving that he's not ready to lead a team. He doesn't understand. And I understand there is learning on the job. I understand that there's going to be growing pains, ebbs and flows, like peaks and I get all of that. But you would think that Brandon Staley's defense would show some type of progress, and now in year 3. You would think from a clock management standpoint, we would see some type of growth from him. So yeah, I'm disappointed for the Chargers. I'm disappointed for Justin Herbert. More importantly, I'm disappointed for the rest of that coaching staff, especially from the offensive side of football, because they're doing their job. They're putting out a winning product on the football field, but the defense can't stop a nosebleed. I'm very confident right now I could go out there, put together a team, and go up against the Chargers defense, and probably we can get a couple of first downs on them, might even score. That defense can't stop anything right now. And it's such a talented defense. J.C. Jackson, who they spent so much money to get, they benched him.
Mm-hmm.
They benched him against the Dolphins. So this guy has his head in his ass. He has no idea what he's doing. Chargers, you got to move on. I understand, starting new, it gets old. But I'll tell you what, there's a guy right now on the Washington Commanders that's proving his chops as an offensive coordinator that a lot of people said you guys should have hired because you should have paired him up with Justin Herbert, because he was the offensive coordinator for the Chiefs. His name is Eric Bieniemy. Eric Bieniemy gets my early vote, right?
Yeah.
Eric Bieniemy gets my early vote for the Chargers' next head coaching job, because I think it's certainly headed that way. Because I think in order for Brandon Staley to keep his job, I would say at the very least you have to make a deep playoff run.
Yeah,
and I just don't think that he's capable of it.
And who's to even say that they make the playoffs this year? So
right, I don't think they will.
Yeah.
Like it's different for if a team starts 0-2, I understand what the odds say about all that kind of stuff like that. But I genuinely don't think they can, because I think Brandon Staley is one of the worst football coaches in the NFL. And it sucks because at one point he was being lauded as the freshman head coach of his class, and he was so great. We love his aggressiveness. And now this aggressiveness has come back to bite him in his ass time and time again. But the one thing he was known for from in terms of defensively speaking, this guy completely craps the bed each and every single week after week. So what I want you guys to do is I want you guys to let me know down in the comment section what you think. Are we being too hard on Brandon Staley, or do you think it's time for the Chargers to move on? I can't wait to hear your thoughts. If you like more video content like this, give this video a like, turn on post notifications so you guys don't miss when we go live, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. We appreciate you. We'll see you next time.